What's up, everybody? Fred Richani, TSC News, with some breaking WWE news. I am still getting my voice back from E3. I covered E3. Notice the retro Mario hat I'm rocking. But I ain't here to talk about games, although first off, congratulations to AJ Styles, who is now on the cover of WWE 2K19. One guy who's probably not going to be in WWE 2K19. One guy who's probably not going to be receiving WWE paychecks for a while, at least in the next few months after that, is Big Cass. Now, believe it or not, when I read this news, I was absolutely flabbergasted. And I looked at the booking over the last few weeks, and it seemed to all make sense, I guess, now. So, Big Cass has been released, but it's the way he was released that really kind of begs the question of what the hell happened, right? So you may recall a report from Pro Wrestling Sheet a few weeks back where when Big Cass did that segment with the little person who was impersonating Daniel Bryan, he reportedly went a little too rough with him. Now, that being said, while there were rumors that his push was going to die down or whatever, they proceeded to continue with the Daniel Bryan feud despite the fact that at Backlash, Daniel Bryan had beaten him. And if you recall correctly, Big Cass also lost that triple threat with Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan as well. In fact, Big Cass seemed to lose quite a bit. He got no pinfall victories over Daniel Bryan whatsoever. At least I think so. Maybe he got like one tag match, but whatever. As far as singles matches, obviously he didn't have the advantage. So fast forward to the most recent pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. I didn't get a chance to catch the match, but I did hear that Daniel Bryan did beat Big Cass and did also bust his ass to make Big Cass look as good or as competent as possible. Big Cass, you may recall, came back from ACL surgery, nearly injured his knee again at Greatest Royal Rumble. Actually, no, I think he nearly injured his neck at Greatest Royal Rumble, and he tweaked his knee sometime as well around that time period. So fast forward to now, he's not only released, but he was released in the coldest manner possible, right? They had like his real name on WWE.com. I'll paraphrase the statement. It's like, WWE wishes, Big Cass, whatever his real name is, or no, has released Big Cass, has come to terms on his release. No best wishes in your future endeavors, nothing. He didn't even get the Rich Swann treatment. In fact, it looks like he more got the Enzo Amore treatment. Now, I'm not going to speculate on, what the hell Big Cass did. I'm not going to compare it to Enzo Amore because obviously that's two totally different situations to the best of my knowledge. But, man, what a fall from grace. This is just very bizarre. To me, this had to be something that was behavioral. This had to be something that made Vince McMahon say, God damn, we got to cut bait. Because Big Cass is, a big guy. They told you about how big Cass was the last 2 months. I mean, hell, that was the reason for his push, because obviously he hasn't justified his push in the ring. He hasn't justified his push out of the ring. He hasn't justified his push on the mic, although he was decent, and I think had he been brought back as Miz's Muscle against Daniel Bryan, that he would have had some longevity, and he could have learned from the Miz, and he could have worked at Daniel Bryan at house shows and gotten better. But the fact that he's just released outright, kind of sad. He's still a relatively young guy. From what I understand, he went to medical school, was going to be a doctor eventually, decided to forego that career path to become a pro wrestler. So he's not a dumb guy as far as book smart goes. Whether or not that translates to smarts, to intelligent in the cutthroat business of professional wrestling, that's a whole nother story, folks. But yeah, very, very surprising. And this also comes off the heels of the news that WWE is continuing to be petty as hell. And hey, it's in their right to be, right? Ring of Honor was supposed to run at MSG, I believe, on WrestleMania weekend. For those that don't know, WrestleMania is taking place in my home state of New Jersey next year. And Ring of Honor was looking to do a Madison Square Garden date, and WWE called Madison Square Garden, and it's off now, which is funny because Madison Square Garden's got enough money. WWE's not running TV there anymore. Why is WWE making a call to them? Well, I know why WWE's making a call to them, but why is MSG obliging? I guess in the long run, maybe they feel like the WWE house show deal with MSG is going to be better than working with the ROH. But hey, sucks for ROH, although I would recommend them running Prudential Center. It's in Newark. It's publicly accessible via transit. It's a great venue, and it's probably a lot cheaper and would actually make them more of a profit than if they ran an MSG. Other news with WWE, if you haven't already heard, WWE is launching NXT UK. Not WWE UK, but NXT UK. So they're actually launching a separate division of NXT similar to what UFC has tried to do with the Ultimate Fighter and everything else, to quote unquote make new stars with Fight Pass and everything internationally. NXT UK is going to be launching. They have some taping set. I don't know if they announced the specific locations, but the legendary wrestler Johnny Saint is going to be serving as GM. So they're going to have Pete Dunne as the main male champion. They're going to have a women's champion and tag team champions. Now, how does this pertain to WWE shocking the world and shocking everybody? Well, WWE's been working with a lot of UK promotions the last few years, such as Progress, Rev Pro, although I don't think they work with Rev Pro anymore, ICW. And now it looks like they're going to be in direct competition with all of them unless they have some deals in place with Progress or whatever. So, yeah, do not mess with WWE, I guess is the moral of the story. And in the case of Big Cass, I mean, who knows? I mean, the fact that he got released so abruptly, so coldly, tells me that for a guy that had all the physical tools, the aesthetic tools that Vince McMahon loves and holds, dearly to his heart, man, that tells me he had to screw up somehow, some way. I wasn't a fan of his work. I didn't really care for him. But, it is unfortunate because he is still relatively young in this business, and you never know, man. Working with Daniel Bryan enough times could improve you, but... from a pure talent standpoint, he really didn't bring anything to the table since he got back. And it's unfortunate. I guess it's the curse of Enzo Amore. I mean, Carmella, who would have thought Carmella would be the one doing the best at all of them? Although I can't say she's a great champion in the ring, but on the mic, she definitely holds her own, and I think she will hopefully get better over time. Man, just crazy. And I just want to send a special shout out to everybody watching this live stream. RA Review says, Cass was boring as hell, but he needed a lot of work to be a main eventer. I agree. I mean, I thought you could have kept him on house shows. You could have kept him as Mrs. Muscle. I don't know why they had to thrust him into this position. Say what you want about him. I don't know what he did personally backstage, but just from a purely talent standpoint, I think they did him a huge, huge disservice, especially putting him against Daniel Bryan, who's so beloved. I mean, Jesus, if you put Roman Reigns against Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns is super talented, Roman Reigns is going to get booed. So if you put a guy that's perceived to not be anywhere nearly as talented as Roman Reigns against Daniel Bryan, I mean, what do you expect, right? I mean, there's heel heat and then there's go away heat. And I feel like Big Cass got to the point where he was just, straight up go away heat. I mean, even Baron Corbin, say what you want about him. Baron Corbin's a lot smoother in the ring and more athletic than Big Cass. Let's get some more comments here. Phantasm Wolf says, yeah, Big Cass just, wasn't used very well. He wasn't, but, he also didn't step it up either. But, again, it's an unfair position for a guy. And you got to remember, too, this is kind of like the problem with NXT to some extent. Excuse me. Right? Because you have a lot of young, talented guys or guys that could be considered talented. But then you have, guys that need a little bit of work, like Big Cass, right? But at the same time, you have guys like Adam Cole and Ricochet, who are absolutely freaking phenomenal. So, I think I got a call here. Let me decline that. So, you got guys they're essentially veterans, some of the best in the world, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, the entire Undisputed Era. And then you got guys like Big Cass. I mean, it's tough. And at the end of the day, while Big Cass can't be Ricochet or Adam Cole, he's got a guy like him has got to be something different, right? Braun Strowman is never going to be mistaken for Daniel Bryan. But Braun Strowman, absolutely, when he walks in that ring, when he gets on that mic, brings something different to the table. So it's just, what can I say, man? It's quite unfortunate. And we'll get to a couple other comments here. Cass to me was a more athletic Kevin Nash, but another personality. Kevin Nash was actually pretty athletic for his time, and he actually played some college ball. I mean, I think Cass did too. So actually, very, very similar backgrounds. Man, he should have been with the Miz. I agree. No, Lara. Faceman Buddha says, "What up, Richani?" Well, lots going on in this stream. And Shane Goldsmith, why was he released? That is unclear at this time. Iman 18, Big Cass needed Enzo. I think, honestly, in retrospect, they both needed each other. And I guess they could reunite in the Indies, although given what happened to Enzo Amore, yes, he was acquitted due to insufficient evidence. But at the very least, the guy's put himself in some horrible positions and rubbed everybody the wrong way. And I think it'd be kind of a bad look to reunite them. But, unfortunately, that hasn't stopped indie promoters before from not doing the right thing. Yeah, somebody's saying maybe they'll team up in ROH. Not looking forward to that. But anyway, folks, my voice is starting to die, much like Big Cass's career has died. Maybe that was a low blow, but whatever. I said it anyway. So if you enjoyed this live stream, I recommend a few things if you can. First of all, if you could like this video, that'd be awesome. If you could hop on this YouTube channel and check out the recent conference call we uploaded with Cody Rhodes from Access TV. He talks all about his upcoming match with Kenny Omega for the IWGP title. Also, if you could please hop on my gaming channel, it's youtube.com/TSC Gaming, or you could just go to our video games playlist. I uploaded a bunch of gaming videos, interviews with a bunch of people I interviewed and filmed at E3 2018. We got Days Gone, Spider-Man, Kingdom Hearts. I talked Pro Evolution Soccer with a few guys, so you might want to check that out. Until then, if you haven't already, please subscribe because there's more updates to come. In the meantime, I'm going to go get a glass of water. Hope you guys are doing well. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the matches because you can't teach that.